The second episode is about her father's tragic death. His blood was all over the place. Only his mother's handkerchief was in his twist. All that happened in reality was a murder. She was in a very sad state and took over her father's clothes. She swore that she would catch the criminal herself. But she never thought that she did catch the criminal. But she also became a food ghost. On this day, Louise came to the restaurant to eat. Now it's been 2.5 weeks since her father was murdered. The owner advised her not to push herself too hard. In case she fell ill, she would be ashamed to face her parents. Unexpectedly, at the moment of dining in the restaurant, Louise came forward and said that hemorrhoids didn't exist at all. The murderer of this case must have been caught by her father's detective agency and had to avenge his father. What could they do? The young man across the street laughed coldly. Who is he? Is he an adult or a superhero? Looking at the same intelligent eyes on the window, Louise left the restaurant without looking back. I'm sorry for bumping into you. The owner apologized and couldn't blame her. After all, Louise's father was the 5th victim. And her father was a private detective. Rumor has it that he was about to track down the murderer. That's why he was killed by the murderer. The girl, Lin Wenyan, also fell into silence. After that, she found Louise in a flower field. The scenery of the flower field under the moonlight was beautiful. Lin was Arnie Detective Agency. That is to say, that little devil is also herself. It's because of the difficult case in the town all the time. It was solved by her father. Now it's her son-in-law, so she will never accept other people's help and sacrifice. Lin changed her mind. Louise finally agreed. Since she heard about this incident, the Arnie Detective Agency immediately started to investigate the surrounding city. But only this village kept happening. It seems that there is a special meaning for the criminals here. And the purpose of the criminals is to get a lot of blood. The serial killer in the real world can only be a human. Lin also changed his mind and thought that he was not a vampire. Today, he and Arnie went to see the latest victim's remains. First of all, there is no vampire mark on the body. Second, the criminal seems to use extremely exaggerated force. It's like a wet towel to collect a lot of tomato juice. This will mix a lot of impurities in the blood, but vampires are gourmets. They don't like to drink mixed beverages. And Louise's information. The only thing the victim has in common is a tall and strong man. This can extract more tomato juice. The time of the crime is from late at night to dawn, and the time to accurately control the victim alone. It can be done in one night. The murderer is either a tall. There was a smell of blood in the room. Louise thought it should be her mother's blood-stained handkerchief. This is what her father was holding when he was killed, and that the case needs to be observed. She raised her handkerchief and looked at a red-white flower. The original restaurant's waiter suddenly committed suicide and left a letter confessing his crime. But Louise already knew that this was not the truth. She came to the flower field. It turned out that the accomplice of the landlady was not Otto, but a demon, only because she was a demoness who controlled the demon. When she came back, Louise was already soaked through her body. At this time, she didn't know that super animals really existed. Faced with the strong oppression brought by Arnie, the demoness lost her will to fight and turned around to escape. As a result, she was captured by Louise, who had turned into a real ghost. The girl's mother has passed away for 2 years, but her father still refuses to accept the reality. He thinks that his wife. Originally, Arnie was not going to take the entrustment. But when he saw the pendant Lin was wearing, he suddenly changed his mind. He learned the true face of this town. The streets were full of all kinds of monsters. According to the plan, Lin had to go in first, full information on the table. At the same time, the father on the first floor said that Lin's mother was very worried about him. Lin said directly that his mother had passed away for 2 years. Their family should continue. His father was bound by his mother's last words. As his successor, he had to work hard to move forward. Unexpectedly, there was answered. Fortunately, he still had a spare key. After a long time, the security guard came here. He saw Lin unconscious on the ground. This is a fake. Father's legs and feet remain unchanged. It means that there are assistants around him. Arnie felt that his heart was beating wildly again. Before he saw it with his own eyes, and became the heir that everyone agreed with and continued to move forward. In the end, it was just like his father. Now he has to face reality as his mother's favorite daughter. According to Arnie's investigation results, his father was going to resurrect his mother and then leave this house with his. He wanted to re-entrust Arnie to find the murderer of his father and the mysterious assistant together. The price was that he was willing to do anything. The other end is connected to the warehouse next door. Who knew that there was a hidden secret room under the secret room? Since he came to this house, his heart seemed to react to something, but he didn't expect to see a familiar name below. Nathriel. One of the legendary vampires, but for the reputation of this family, the butler suggested not to call the police. At this time, a loud noise was heard nearby. The butler said that someone broke in. After attacking people, he ran away from the door. The cook confirmed that the person broke in from the back door. But there was a dog at the back door. Those dogs would not bark at the master and the young lady. The security guard deliberately led the hare to the hunter. Those dogs were also very close to him. But Anna naturally did not allow the person she liked to be splashed with dirty water. So the scene was in a mess for a moment. Everyone can't help but be shocked. So the peace of this house seemed to have been dark for a long time. A sense of sadness came to him. He made a decision in public, killed her father. But she was first worshipped by the murderer. As she found out by accident, the harmony of the family members was all false. So she was not polite. She asked everyone to say their proof of absence. The butler was discussing dishes with the cook at the time of the master's death. Then she went back to the room. Then Alice came to the kitchen, just because every day at 12 o'clock she had a restaurant. During this time, she only passed by in the back. Then Lynn came to the butler's room again. She happened to meet Diana and Kai. She planned to elope. She guessed that the figure in the backyard should be Kai. Only he could be like this now. Coincidentally, he came to the second floor to meet Diana. But Diana also said that when the master died, she was alone in the room. It turned out that Diana was going to elope with Kai that day. After hearing the security guard scream, she rushed over immediately. And the reason why she didn't leave was because Kong Gao didn't dare to climb the ladder. Just because her love is more and more obstructed by people, the more clean it is. If it can't be combined with the one she loves, it's better to meet in heaven. So she thought it was good for the master to die. Changed his attitude. He proposed to tie everyone up. Arnie was no longer himself. His consciousness was trapped in his brain. The one who controls his body now is one of the vampires. She was attacked by the dog at home. The dog was very clingy before. Arnie guessed it was the smell. There was a little smell of blood on her body. No girl can stand being said to have a smell. Lynn's face turned red in an instant. Think about it carefully. She hasn't taken a bath for 2.5 days. If she doesn't wash it clean, she can't focus on mental reasoning. As a result, when Arnie found Lynn, she was also attacked and frozen to death. It's a pity that the criminal shot from behind. She didn't see the other person's face, and her last words was to let Arnie suck her own blood. Arnie couldn't hold back after hearing it. You know, people who are sucked by vampires will have a very amazing recovery ability. The price is to become a character who has lost himself. Even so, Lynn also hopes to live. She still has too many things to do. It's a pity that even if she becomes a character, she directed Lynn said, in order to solve this case, she wants to use Arnie. This is the only way to make things hit the contract. Arnie wants to pay back the blood she paid in advance, but her blood has been drunk by Arnie. If she wants to pay back, she can only pay back her own blood. Maybe vampires exchange blood with humans. It's like making above is the wonderful content of this episode of Arnie's World. Next, let's analyze the content of this episode in depth. I have to say, the plot reversal and setting construction of this episode really hurt in cases. She directly threw out a soul test. When the power of the Superman really exists and is still our detective protagonist, how should this reasoning be played? This is like the Beck Jr. team in Home thinking to look at the supernatural powers that cannot be explained by common sense in the case. And in this episode, the director is very profound. Our heroine, Lynn Lanevis, appears to be a famous lady, but in fact, she is a serious vampire. She is covered in blood all the time, seeking Arnie's blood-absorbing bewilderment operation to really fill in the funny elements. But have you found a detail? After Arnie, they were definitely not the people in the picture in this episode. Do you still remember the scene in which Louise's handkerchief was inferred? Louise, as a detective, locked the flower field by dyeing the white flower red. This is inferred based found that the body under the house was not Lynn's blood relative. These two completely different ways of handling the case collided together. One is the hardcore. The other is the dragon and the sky. It perfectly interprets what it means to dance in chaos. That expression was directly filled in. A deeper level of infection comes from Louise, the original character in the animation. Have you noticed the mystery of the official poster? In the first poster, Louise stands in front of the most conspicuous, which symbolizes the persistence of reasoning about reality. In the second poster, Louise's figure is gradually exposed to the public. The blood is replaced by Arnie and Lynn, in the gaming community. This animation also adds a lot of original plot to Louise to make the storyline more full. In addition, the opening song is a QED sung by Zoe with a scene full of Getha's style. The sense of suspense and fate, just the blood is replaced by dancing and chaos. The detective is no longer an ordinary person who hides in the dark to observe. Let's continue to watch the next issue.